Hello again. So far this week, we have been exploring creation, seeing God's glory in it, knowing that we are without excuse based off the glory and the display of power that God has given us just by us observing Him through creation, through His created things, and through the creativity that He shows just in the world around us. But today, we are going to continue in Romans 1, but from verse 21 to 23 because this switches now to a bit of more of a somber tone. Because it talks about how, despite the lack of excuse we have, so many people suppress that truth. So let's look and read verse 21. Romans 1, starting in 21, it says, "For although they knew God, they did not honor him as God or give thanks to him, but became futile in their thinking, and their foolish hearts were darkened. Claiming to be wise, they became fools, and exchanged the glory of the immortal God for images resembling mortal man, and birds, and animals, and creeping things." What Paul is talking about here is not ignorance, it's true rebellion. People know about God, people know God. People that are Christians know God, and yet we all have a tendency of this rebellion. And what it says in verse 22, claiming to be wise, they became fools. We're going to get into that fool word in just a minute, but I think about in my life how often I've had clear descriptions of how to live, what to do, and in my foolishness, I thought myself wise. And you're gonna see not really a great outcome. When I was in college, I worked at a summer camp, and in that summer camp, they between weeks, I think like 5 and 6, they had a summer staff Olympics, and in these Olympics, we had games like how many push-ups we could do, or like foot races, tug of war. But one of them was to utilize the water slide on campus, which is a long, swirly water slide that went down into a trough. It's just standalone. It's dark on the inside, and the competition was who could get the fastest time going down the water slide. And so there I was, 18 years old, very confident in my slip and sliding abilities. But there were some rules, and they were extremely clear. Go down feet first, don't run into it. So no running start, go down feet first. Other than that, you can swing into it. You can have a good competition. It's all about the technique of getting on your shoulder blades and your heels to make sure you have the least amount of drag. Uh, and that's what we did. So the first competition where we were trying to get the practice runs, we everybody did the rules. But the second time, I got up to the slide and looked at the hole that I was going to go into that started the slide, and right to the side of it, it showed a diagram of feet first, no running. It was, I had no claim of ignorance. I knew what the rules were. They were said to me, I could read them. But I thought myself wise and thought, well, if I run and dive into the slide, well, then obviously I'll start faster and then I wouldn't have to spend any time picking up speed. Uh, and it's a pretty big opening. Like I can't miss it. And once I'm in the slide, like feet first, head first, it doesn't really matter. And so I thought myself wise, but I showed myself a fool because as soon as I dove in, I was okay. I made it into the hole. My foot clipped the edge of the slide right as I entered it, and the entire time going down, I thought to myself, I just hurt myself. I don't really want to look at it. When I get to the bottom, what's going to happen? I hope I won. And getting to the bottom, I didn't get the high speed. I didn't get the best time. I went to the hospital. 6 stitches later, I was on crutches for the remainder of the summer. Why do I say that? Well, in verse 22, it says, claiming to be wise, they became fools. And when you read that verse, what Paul is saying by a fool, I was looking through some commentaries, and here's a definition of fool that Paul was going for. It was a fool being a person who lives life as though God and God's will were of no consequence. So where am I and where are you living your life, suppressing the truth, living in maybe a secret sin, ignoring authority, bending rules in your life, where you say, I understand and without ignorance, I know what is correct, but I'm going to choose to do what I think is right in the moment. That's saying you're a fool. Claiming to be wise, they lived as though God's will were of no consequence. And so that's a challenging verse to come across. And in the coming next couple of days, we're going to explore just what happens when people do that, where science looks at creation and chooses to live their life and live science as though God and God's will were of no consequence. I'm excited to explore that topic. But my challenge for you today is to, when you see yourself suppressing God's truth, when you see yourself rejecting clear, available knowledge and wisdom that we have, to repent, to come before the Lord and be brutally honest. Lord, I know that I'm not worthy of you, and I'm not righteous in this way. Lord, I've been going my own path, but I'm here to submit my life and submit this area and come back into the clear authority that I know I should be under. That's all I have for you. I hope you're encouraged, and I will see you tomorrow.